Welcome back. If you're just joining us, tonight's conversation is centered on integrity. We're talking about the Science Minister's certificate forgery scandal. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear your insights on this. Remember, we're Nigerians, and it touches us because these are our supposed leaders, right? So you can join the conversation by sending me an SMS or WhatsApp to 0818-038-4663. Our phone lines are now open, and you can call us on 0702-500-7749 and also on 0701-4242-420. Let's hear what you have to say. Now, the allegations against the Nigeria's former, I call him former now because he's resigned, yeah? The former Minister of Science, Uche Naji, has once again drawn national attention to the question of integrity in public office. Now, when a sitting minister is accused of forging academic and NYSC certificates, right, and both institutions involved already deny ever issuing it, it raises unfortunate, very uncomfortable questions about our vetting process, our leadership values, and even the depth of accountability in government beyond one-man scandal. This case touches something deeper: how public trust erodes when those appointed to serve are caught in webs of deceit. And it forces us to ask, how many more of such cases, are buried under what I would call political privileges? To help us unpack all of this, the different dimensions of this story, I'm now being joined by Comrade Mark Adebayo, the National Convener, National Direction for Nigeria Movement. Good evening, sir, and thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much for having me. It's New Direction for Nigeria Movement.
New Direction for Nigeria Movement. Great. Thank you so much for the correction. Now, yes, looking at our former Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation, this whole saga, right? What do you have to say about the credibility of, the federal cabinet, those leading us?
Well, thank you so much. It's a testament to the rot of leadership in this country. It is that the kind of people who manage to get themselves into positions of authority in this country and power in this country and political and public positions in this country are never really morally upright. They are never politically sincere, and they are never, in power or in government to do any good for the country. Because you see, you begin to wonder for how long, or how much is the whole total gamut of the benefit that has accrued to this man over the decades, claiming, bandying about fake documents. So now they said a thief does not come but to steal, to kill, and to destroy, and that has been the story of Nigerian leaders since flag independence in 1960. That's why Nigeria has continued to crawl at 65. That is why the issue of competency and capability at the realm of leadership has been a deficit for this country. And that is why the economy is crumbling, and that is why the country is insecure, and that is why our educational system, our health and medical systems are collapsing, because there are incompetent people in power who parade qualifications that they do not merit, that they have not achieved. So that is what you see. Even, if you look down the line, I heard you trying to reel out the names of some people that have been caught in the web of this certificate scandal. But all the people you mentioned were able to skate through. Some of them are still in power, some of them are still in Senate now. Now, I remember clearly in 1999, the first Senate president, Evan Ewerem, his own came. He was consumed by it. We saw Salisu Buhari, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, his own came and he consumed him. Now, we have had somebody who became president for 8 years in this country without a certificate.
Yeah.
Without a certificate, the issue came up. Somebody said Buhari's certificate got missing. The army got it lost. Who says that? You are the owner of the certificate. How will you say you put it? Everybody has a copy. Everybody has a copy. I have a copy of all my certificates.
Yes.
I have a copy of all my certificates. So, and everywhere I've worked, they have records of my, photocopies of my certificates. So, that if I ran for president in this country, if despite being a lawyer, a qualified lawyer, only submitted his results to INEC. No issues, because that is the law. The least you can have is to have a WAEC or GC certificate, whether it's F9 parallel or not. Nobody says you must have A1 or anything. Just give it to, just have. So do you know what this thing does to me as a person? It makes me so happy that education is this precious that people have to steal it. People have to go and steal it, because it is stealing by trick, where you present fake credentials to get an appointment, to get a job, to get into anything. So it is so precious, and I just wonder, in these people growing up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, I wonder what they are doing, because education was very cheap then. I wonder what they were doing with their time, that they couldn't go to school. No, education was so cheap, and some of these people are from privileged homes. So they sent them to school, they went there and be playing, and to all intents and purposes, this what's his name, the middle past Minister of Science and Technology, actually got a formal admission into UNN.
Yes, he
and
did.
He was there for the whole duration of his course. Somewhere along the line, the man disappeared from the university. Only God knows where he jackpot to. Maybe he jackpot or something. And then he just assumed, after all, I've been 4 years in the place, I've completed years. No, you have not completed when you have not fulfilled all righteousness in terms of academic performances, attending classes, submitting your tutorials, and sitting for your final papers and being graded, and then the Senate approving your result and putting your name on the list of graduating students for that year. That is when many people attend university. You can attend university without, but if you can attend social school, you may not graduate. There's no crime about that. He could have put it there that I attended UNN from year so to year so, certificate issues, nil. NY certificate, nil. They will just say, I mean, it's simple. He will not. That is if his wife certificate is not fake. You understand? Now, what do you expect a minister to do? You are serving under, and before you know it, they will run to court for court to stop anybody from issuing anything about them.
He did that. He did that.
Our current president, he learned the ropes from the president, who said CSU should not release his own certificate or report or anything that has to do with him, because it will do him a terrible damage. Look, anybody that wants my certificate, they don't need to go to Freedom of Information Act. I will just publish everything by myself. I have nothing to
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Because, first of all, I want to commend Premium Times newspaper, because they were the ones that started investigating this case from 2023 when he was brought into power, right? So the tenacity to actually follow through, it's been 2 years, right? And they found out that what they were actually chasing was, as a matter of fact, right. Okay? So, yes, kudos to them. But now, does this not reveal the gaps in Nigeria's vetting system for political appointees? Does it not show the lapses that we have in this system? And if so, how can we close these gaps? Because, I mean, this is embarrassing on the global stage.
That is why, you see, this tells you why Nigeria is failing. This tells you why the country as a nation is failing. Now, these people that are appointed into government, as ministers or whatever, they also, aside from Senate, question and answer sessions, they also go through what is called security vetting. They go through security report. So it tells you that the DSS and other security agencies that are supposed to vet these people to understand who they are, to really unveil who they are, don't do their jobs. All they do is that once they submit the file, they just throw the file somewhere. Nobody is doing any vetting. Kudos to the Nigerian media.
Yes.
It has been the Nigerian media, everybody that has been exposed.
It's a win for the Nigerian media, really.
In this country.
Yes.
It is the media that have done their investigative journalism to expose these people. Yes. It is not any government agency. It's not any government security agencies or the people that are supposed to carry out their oversight in the area of vetting the people that are going to superintend over Nigeria, and then they bring in people who are, technically speaking, who are criminals, who are thieves, that have stolen certificates, and they are parading fake certificates all over the place. So that is the thing. You know, why would we have anybody in power or anybody in office? That for the first time in this country, I mean, for all intents and purposes, up to now, there's controversy. There's controversy, allegedly, even regarding the parentage of our president. There are still controversies even regarding the state of origin, the town of origin of the current president. Up to today, it is alleged that the only genuine certificate that is why the president, when he went to collect INEX form, the only certificate to put in there was the one he took from Chicago State University. What of the secondary school? I mean, you don't jump to the university. What of the intermediate schools and certificate that qualified him to enter
the university,
Chicago State University? Now we are seeing where they put the gender, they put F there, meaning female. I mean, they say it's typographical error.
It's so
we have
bad.
The president in this country.
It's so bad.
We have the president in this country that he ran on what supposedly was a NEPA bill for his certificate. And now somehow they do it, they do a wuru to the answer and went and collected what they call, that's the first time I'm hearing that, attestation letter from WAEC for somebody that's supposed to be the president of the most populous black nation on earth. Hey, yeah? How low can we go as a country? How down can we go as a country?
You know, Mr. Debayo.
Now, with this kind of situation, yes?
Yeah, so sorry to butt in. You know, I saw the press release that the special advisor to the president on media and communications, Bayo Onanuga, released on X, you know, regarding the president receiving the resignation of Uche Naji, right? And it was very colorful. It was very flowery. And at the end of the statement, it said the president thanks him for his service, something like that. I'm paraphrasing now. And so I'm wondering, because what this guy has done could be termed fraud, except I stand to be corrected, right? I can call it fraud. So does it mean that the government cannot initiate, you know, criminal proceedings even after he resigns? Or does it mean his resignation ends any sort of liability? So we cannot follow this through, you know? What does it really mean for us?
I mean, what that tells you is the fact that people can get away with any kind of criminality in this country. Are we not in this country? That's why we have been shouting and clamoring for a new direction in this country. There must be a new direction. In our leadership recruitment processes, there must be a new direction. In terms of the way we elect our leaders into offices, there must be a new direction. There must be a new way of thinking. We must begin to look for a new direction away from the current rot of leadership, from the current backwardness in terms of leadership, from the current, instability leadership. We must be able to, Nigerians must be able to come up with we must follow a new direction. We must not follow the way we have been going. We need to insist on getting the best among the rest to superintend over this country. And that is why from 2027, we must do our own vetting of whoever is coming in partnership, in close partnership with the Nigerian media that have been doing wonderful, honorous job of exposing these people. Unfortunately, it is when they have been in power, enjoyed the pass of office for 2 years, for 3 years, but before these things get eventually done. Kudos to premium times, because I can imagine the kind of intimidation they have gone through in terms of attempt to even compromise the process with some millions of dollars or something. I'm sure they resisted all of that and made sure that justice was served. So there must be new direction. You understand? We cannot continue. These people, you don't expect, for instance, an armed robber to try an armed robber. Because many people, their own will still come. Because all of them are in the same pot of soup.
I know.
They have the back. If they had their way, this guy will not resign. He will still be
Yeah.
in government. In fact, he will go to Igbo state or where he's from and contest for governorship in 2027, and he's still going to win. Is it not in this country that we saw someone who came number 4 in governorship election and is now the governor of the state? Is it not in this country that we had the president that didn't have any certificate, any paper? People said he presented NEPA bill. And what happened? 8 years in government this country. Is it not in this country that we have Senate
Oh my
presidents?
goodness.
Is it not in this country that we have fake lawyers? Is it not in this country that we have fake professors? I mean, so it's a whole gamut. It's a whole gamut of the disastrous outcome of imponderables when it comes to it. That is why. Are we shocked? Are we surprised that insecurity is burgeoning? That's the fact that we have the army, we have the police, we have the DSS, we have the DIA, we have the NIA, we have what do you call it? Civil defense. We have all manner of people with arms and weapons, and yet now you cannot expect anybody to try this man, to sue this man, to arrest this man, and prosecute him for deceiving Nigerians and being a minister and enjoying the authority and the parts of office as a minister. Because look at 4 years ago, the UAE arrested sponsors of terrorism in this country and submitted a list to the Nigerian government and said, look, we have arrested these ones in our country. They are the ones sponsoring terrorism in your country. But this list, this whole list of about 400 people, they are in your country. They are in your government. They are which big man in this country have you seen that been arrested and taken to court? Now, a former intelligence officer, a senior officer, a commodore in the Nigerian military, came out to say, look, they submitted a list of 400 big people. Some of them are ministers, some of them are senators. In fact, as at the time he was saying, it was during the administration of General Muhammadu Buhari, late General Muhammadu Buhari, and he said in Aso Rock that sponsors of Boko Haram are in Aso Rock. To date, nobody has been arrested among all these billionaire businessmen and politicians and taken to court. And the man said it is not the gallant soldiers, our patriotic soldiers who are fighting in the bushes. It is not about the kinetic. It is about, attacking the center of gravity of insecurity in this country by arresting and prosecuting the big men who are sitting in the corridors of power and at the centers of power and are sponsoring insecurity in this country. Once we get those ones out of the way, insecurity will go down. Today, those who are giving, addresses who are giving, people are not, they are not in court. Is it these same people, set of people, that you now say they should go and arrest somebody and prosecute him for certificate forgery? It's kind of unfortunate. The enemies of Nigeria, I want to make this point. The enemies of Nigeria are the ones who have been in power and been governing us. It's time for a new direction.
Okay.
But let these people go.
We still have some things to unravel, particularly, with regards to this topic. But we're going to go on a short break, very short break. And when we come back, we continue. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. We're still talking about the integrity of those in the federal cabinet, and we're spotlighting our dearest former minister, Uche Naji, and the scandal of his forged certificates and all of that. And I have Mr. Mark Adebayo here with me having a conversation. Mr. Mark, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm with you.
So
live and direct.
I had the liberty of looking at some things he said, the statement he released following his resignation. That's Uche Naji now. And something struck me. This man said that he's not resigning out of anything. He's just, just resign after deep reflection. That's the way he put it. After deep reflection, his resignation is not his admission of guilt, and that history rather, would vindicate him. And I'm thinking, so you haven't even accepted that you did something wrong, even though the institutions in question have confirm that we didn't give you certificates. We can't find you on the records. So it brings me to the question of integrity, right? The prerequisites for public office in Nigeria now, has it moved from, I don't know what it is it competence? Is it character? What exactly? Where do we stand right now? Because it's very hard to decide.
You see, character, integrity, morality, uprightness, patriotism, incorruptibility, all these elements are absolutely absent within the Nigerian cliques, the Nigerian ruling cliques. So, and the Nigerian ruling cliques have a way of romanticizing and beautifying criminality. So it's not even seen as a big deal. That's why he's talking all these things he's talking. I mean, if you attended a university and the university is saying that, look, yes, you came in, but we didn't know when you left. I mean, that's just the long and short of it. But you see, in the Nigerian ruling clique, it's among them that you go to UK and escape wearing a woman's robe, and come back to the country. We have just been unfortunate. Nigeria has been unfortunate to put in the worst of us in power. That is why we are saying that, look, if from flag independence to date, we are here to get it right. If we have people in power whose origin is in question, whose education is in question, even whose health is in question. Why do we expect us as a country to move the way we should move, to move in the right direction that we are supposed to move? No, it's not possible. We have people of questionable character. We have people of questionable integrity in this country. And that is why, it's so difficult for the country to move forward, because people are claiming to be who they are not. And somehow, only God knows, somehow, there are some imponderables that are yet to be unraveled in this country. Somehow they get themselves into very powerful positions in this country. And they get there, they ingratiate themselves with the position, and they begin to terrorize the rest of us. And their incompetencies begin to show. By the way, look at the epileptic power supply. Look at our terrible rules. Look at the state of insecurity. We look at the degrading state of the economy. The people in power, their integrity has disintegrated, significantly disintegrated. They don't have anything that you call integrity, because they don't really care about us. As Michael Jackson sang, or Blessed Memory sang that, they don't really care about us. It's only about them, their cronies, their families, their pockets, their bank accounts. And now, how many Nigerian politicians today in power, or who are in power, are able to justify their financial and material possessions now? Having private jets, having universities all over the place, having five-star hotels all over the country and even outside the country. And what did they become? Who are they? They were former governors, former ministers, even former chairmen of local government, former presidents.
Well, so
these people,
in this, I mean, we've spoken at length about this. So let's talk solutions, right? What systems can, institutions like, the universities, NYSC itself as a body, what can they do to strengthen, their database to avoid future forgeries of discharge certificates? Because at the end of the day, this thing must have looked authentic. You know what I mean? Must have looked authentic enough to scale these places. So what can they do to strengthen these databases? Because I believe the people even aiding the forgery are in the system, right? What can be done? Let's speak solutions now.
I don't think it's much a responsibility of the university. They cannot copy it. Anybody can come out and claim that he went to LSE, for instance, London School of Economics. Anybody can come out and say he went to Ahmadu Bello University. Sorry, anybody can come out and say he attended University of Lagos. So the universities cannot prevent or stop people from lying about their academic credentials. Yeah. The only thing we can that the universities should do is for them to employ and apply technology without going through. I don't have to write through freedom of information. This thing that will take 2 years. That will take 2 years. Since 2023 that Premium Times has been pursuing this thing, it's just coming to conclusion now. I want to sit in the comfort of my room, go to the university website and type 1997 graduates in the Department of
Right.
Microbiology, so them, bam, and it props up on my system. So if it's not there, it means you are never there. So they should just apply technologies to some of these things. That even wherever you are being processed for either appointment or anything, the people, the company, the institution, the agency that is about to employ you, they look at your CV and they just begin to punch in the numbers and the lines, and your name props up. They say, oh, they confirm 1975, he attended this and that, all the information you need. Okay, it's Ahmadu Bello University, the Department of Law, Faculty of Law, 1975, so name, pam, pam. It comes out your matric number, or they just submit your matric number, punch it on the website, and everything about you pops up. Simple. That is what our universities should consider doing, both public and private. Once you do that, I don't need to write a long application, petition, Federal Freedom of Information. Before I'm there for 2-3 years, you don't answer me, and the rest of that, I go to court to force you to give me. No. Go technology. Simply,
Yeah.
let's let technology
Speaking
solve
of
this matter for us.
Speaking of, yeah, I think I agree, because I think at some point I misplaced my WAEC results, right? So, but I was really frantic. I went to their office, the demands were a lot, until I found out that, oh, I could actually go on their website and just impute, my registration number. And I did that, and I got it just came out, and it was really beautiful to see, and I really commended them for doing that. So I think the schools should also adopt that.
Excuse me, your own was not attestation, no, Abi. The real deal. You got the real deal.
It was the real thing, yes.
Not to whom it may concern.
No, it wasn't.
It was not to whom it may concern.
I mean, he had all the WAEC seal, he had everything. It was complete, and you could just download it from their website to your mail. Yeah.
So not attestation written by somebody who was not yet born by the time somebody said he left school in 1950 something. The person that wrote and signed the attestation letter was not born when that person went to school. You went there, you say clean, nobody will come after you. You went to school, you are the real deal. No be attestation now. No be to him to be concerned. God bless you.
All right, Mr. Adebayo.
I mean, this thing is not difficult.
What message now does this send to students, who are really working hard for their degrees? When their leaders appear to be falsifying theirs and getting away with it. Because to go to school is not easy. It's really not. You're reading, you're burning midnight candles. What message is this supposed to send?
My sister, nothing good, nothing useful, valuable is easy to obtain. If people no go school, let them come and say, I no go school. Nobody will kill you for that. Many of these people are mere what you call functional illiterates. They are functional illiterates because they can read and write, and because they have some modicum of some flashes of intellectual knowledge. They can have bamboozle people, especially if they are able to speak good English. Nobody will even doubt their university certificates. Now, the thing is that education may not be easy, but it's not a scam. So the people that think education is a scam are the people that have been caught in the business of scam because they are forging certificates and they are committing perjury that is a criminal offense under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. And they must be prosecuted. And if they are not prosecuted, the government and the security agencies that are supposed to do that, the DSS and the police, are also culpable. They are culpable, they are criminals. And that is why our organization will consider going to court to compel the Inspector General of Police to go and arrest Mr. Energy and prosecute him for criminal perjury and for him to face the consequences. If your government will not do it, we will apply for an order of mandamus to be able to prosecute this man, and make sure that because you see, we need to begin to make a sample of people.
Right.
The Constitution does not impose you be a PhD or a graduate for you to occupy public. Just have small WAEC. Whether it's every parallel, no wahala. Nobody else. It's there. We have to just take it there. Let it be authentic. It does not matter whether it's F9 parallel. So you see that education now, it is something to be proud of if you have it.
Right.
Because even the high and mighty, are sealing it. Even the high and mighty are forging it. Even the high and mighty are pretending to be educated when they are just mere functional illiterates. So you be proud of whatever certificate you have that is genuine, that is authentic, that
Yeah.
you can flash, you can carry all over the place without anybody disturbing. Immediately the media begins to investigate somebody about for certificates forgery. My sister, just know that the outcome is predictable because there is no fire without smoke. Once they begin to pursue somebody with regard to certificates, the end is predictable. Some people, they may wriggle out of it. They may, I don't know, but the truth remains the truth. For me, I'm still interested in seeing the qualification of our president that made him to go and study at CSU. Primary school, our lawyer, they said it was non-existent. Secondary school, Ibadan Grammar School, Abi, they said he never went there. But he managed to get to the Chicago State University. Gender,
He managed
female.
to get abroad.
So to study, he was. They said he was among their best students. Fine, no controversy. I have no issue with his. In fact, there's no issue with his CSU certificate. But how did he
get there?
What qualified him? What certificate qualified him to enter that place? That still remains a subject of speculation.
So just before I let you go, sir.
The president has a lot of baggage.
Just before I let you go. So do you think going forward, right, what can we do to verify these credentials for political appointees and, senior civil servants? What can we do now? I mean, you're already saying your organization, you're going to look into prosecuting Uche Nnaji. That's commendable. But moving forward, because 2027 is coming, and from 2026, in fact, from now, we're already seeing them acting up and all of that. Meanwhile, I just saw the acting INEC chairman that has taken over from Yakubu Abamuche. What processes of verification were taken? What can we do so that we can reduce these things, if not eradicate them completely?
Well, Mr. Abamuche has been rising through the ranks. Mr. Abamuche is probably the most experienced INEC national officer. That how I wish he could be confirmed as the INEC chairman because
herself.
We have been advocating that yes, let substantive one because he has been there for probably
she
more
has
than 20
really
years.
good she has really good documents, really good credentials.
Well, I won't be able to say that, but as per her competency and capacity and the way the woman carries herself with professionalism, she's someone, and she's the kind of person that nobody can push around. And that's the only thing that can disqualify her from being confirmed as substantive, because she's not somebody that somebody can push around and say, hey, no, she will just maintain the organizational discipline and the constitutionalism of the act that set up INEC. And the current core of rulers will not be able to tolerate somebody who would be an independent chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. The only thing that can just qualify that woman is that the fact that I do not have any doubts concerning with regards to her capacities, capabilities, and credentials. But the fact that she will not be somebody who is amenable to being pushed around or to satisfy the chagrins of the powers that be. That is the only thing that can disqualify her. And we have been advocating that let INEC, the INEC chairman or leaders emerge from the civil service, emerge from the most senior as they are gathering experience over the year, as they are getting them and when it's not reaches the age of retirement or you have served 2 terms of 10 years, or like they do in the university, the next most senior person in INEC to take over. It does not matter his or her ethnicity, his or her religion, his or her gender. Let them emerge as a natural cause of civil service, advancement in career. That will remove, and then we must remove the power and the authority of the president to appoint the INEC chairman, because you cannot have 2 teams playing in the match, and you are now allow one team to now pick the referee. Now, it means that match, that particular match has been pre-rigged to favor the person that picks the referee. That is the system that obtains now, and that is what we have to change. We have to change it. And before we appoint anybody or elect anybody into office, it must have all these clearances. There should not be doubt. It is not when somebody has been governor for 2 years who has stolen billions of naira that you know, oh, he was not qualified, and then you go to court and you get him off the seat when he has stolen billions already. That's why, you know, they will even use the money they have stolen to fight back against whoever is looking for justice to be obtained.
Anyway,
but
yeah,
you in the media, you the media, please continue to do your good work and helping Nigerians to expose these people who are in power. There must be new direction. Come 2027, let us face new directions. Let us stop all the recycling of these old cargoes, and then let us look in a totally new direction for new, you know, let's go in a new way totally, from especially in electing the president. If you have a good leader, a competent leader, a patriotic leader, a truthful leader, a leader who has integrity flowing in his blood, all these problems you are seeing, all these fake risks you are seeing will disappear overnight, because it is not rocket science to fix this country, economically, politically, and socially.
Thank you, Mr. Adebayo. And regarding the INEC, you know, this adage came to mind. It says, he who pays the piper dictates the tune.
Dictates the tune.
Yeah, so
you have to take that power.
Sadly, that's what happens with the INEC. But thank you so much for your brilliant insights in this conversation. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. But we hope to bring you back for more conversations like this. Have a good evening, sir. All right, so we see public office is, you know, a sacred trust. And when leaders present credentials, Nigerians deserve to know they are genuine. Now, for a minister, especially one overseeing science and technology, integrity is not an optional. It's essential. The scandal goes beyond his failure. It's a test of our institutions, the Senate, the universities, judiciary, presidency. You know, will Nigeria keep tolerating fake titles or finally demand credibility from those in power? All of them, really. A resignation is only the beginning, not accountability. And it shouldn't stop there. The truth must be exposed and systems strengthened, you know, so no one can rise on forged foundations. Because if our leaders build on lies, how can the nation really stand on truth? I mean, it's not rocket science, like my guest said. Anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. And if you missed my quote earlier, here it is. It says, leadership is not about titles or positions. It's about truth, trust, and responsibilities. Please ensure you're following us on all social media platforms. Go on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to our channels, it's Official Upgrade TV. And this has been Ways Prime Time. My name is Choma Kalu. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.